Hello friends, this is Javi Mandan. Welcome to the review of the Sony Xperia Sola. Let's have a look at the hardware here. It's made entirely of this plastic, which is quite tough plastic. It's not the super flimsy plastic which you find on, say, Samsung phones. It doesn't have any scratches or marks or scuffs so far, so that leads me to believe it will be quite a long-lasting phone. This back cover though doesn't fit very well. It's kind of creaky. It means when you hold it, it's kind of cracking and creaking all the time, which isn't very pleasing. Fondle factor, I'm going to give this a low score for fondle factor because it doesn't have any textures on it. The edges are very square and hard. The corners are quite sharp. It's not great to hold in the hand and not especially good to fondle in your pocket. So fondle factor, only 5 out of 10. Buttons, well, the power button has a very good feedback on it, very good click. The volume button too. The camera button, not so good. It's a bit vague, a bit soft. Not really sure if you're pushing it fully or not because it's a 2-stage key. Sony do have this function called quick launch mode, which is quite cool. It means when the phone is off, you can just hold down the shutter key and it opens and takes an instant picture. Quite a cool, useful function, I think, if you need to take a quick shot. The camera itself is very fast at focusing and taking shots. Hardly any lag there at all, which for gingerbread is very good. Options on this camera are many, more than you could want, I imagine. Scene modes, smile detection, etc. And the shots for a 5 megapixel camera are pretty good. Also shoots video, but only unfortunately in 720p, which is a bit disappointing for a dual core phone. The speaker is loud and clear. We have a little test of that. We go into the music app, which is a very nice app, I have to say. No distortion when it's on the desk. And if we go into the equalizer, we find this X Loud function, which does boost the sound. It's a kind of gimmick. They could just make it louder to begin with, but it works. So speaker good, music app good. The display is a 3.7 inch LCD display, 854 by 480 pixels, and it's a very nice display. It's bright, it's perfectly readable in very bright sunlight, and the color reproduction is pretty good on this too. We can have a look at video maybe, just to get some idea. Good colours, nice bright screen. As we can see, there's no problem there in playing video. It zips along this phone. I haven't found any lag at all in the UI. Gameplay is good. It might take a little longer to load games, but once they've loaded, they go smoothly and fast, just as on a much higher, more expensive phone. See again, the colours are very good there on the screen. Goes along at a good speed, no problem with gameplay. The battery has been pretty good. I've just had to charge this just now for the first time in 4 days, we can see, and in almost 3 hours on the display running. So even though it's 1320 milliamps, the battery has been quite good. We can see here the capacitive keys, when they light up, give this kind of little spaceship type light there, which pulses when you receive an incoming call. It's quite nifty. And the thing I like most about this phone, I think, is the fact that when you press the power key, it starts immediately. No wake lag on the screen at all. Press key, screen on. Not like some very expensive high-end quad-core, dual-core phones where it takes a second or more for the screen to come on. Now, another cool feature which you won't find on most mid-range, if any, phones is this NFC capability, which allows you to use such things as smart tags. We can set this to open an application, toggle Wi-Fi radios, start a song, send a text message, change wallpaper, things like that. It works very easily. We just have the smart tag and we just swipe it and it will, in this case, launch the browser. And try the other one. Set this to play a song. So, cool function, NFC, has lots of good uses, and on this price range phone, unusual to find. In conclusion, I would say Sony have made a pretty good job of this phone. Hardware is solid, even though some annoying things. The screen is very good. The processor and the RAM is fast enough to make sure the phone zips along at a good speed. It doesn't have a front-facing camera, and it only shoots 720p video. They might be drawbacks for you. What are the competition? Well, the HTC One V and the Samsung Galaxy Ace 2 are in a similar price range. So you would have to take a look at those before you decided if you wanted to buy this phone. I think Sony have done a good job with the Sony Xperia Sola. Thank you.